Chosen one, God is delaying you because what's coming needs maturity. My beloved child, listen carefully, because this moment, right now, is not random. You did not land on this message by accident. There is a reason your life feels paused, delayed, stretched thin between what you prayed for and what you see. You have asked yourself the same question in silence many nights. Why is God taking so long? Why am I ready, but nothing is moving? And the truth is deeper than impatience, deeper than timing, deeper than what most people will ever understand. God is not delaying you to punish you. He is delaying you because what is coming would destroy an immature version of you. This is not rejection. This is protection. Don't skip, because what I'm about to reveal may change how you see every closed door you cried over. Most people rush blessings and then collapse under their weight. But you were never meant to be most people. You were chosen to carry something heavier, something rarer, something that demands strength not just in talent, but in character. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and it starts with understanding why the waiting hurts this much. Here is the part nobody tells you. God delays the chosen ones the longest because they are trusted with the most dangerous gifts. Influence without humility ruins souls. Power without wisdom creates destruction. Success without emotional maturity isolates you in ways money cannot fix. You see others moving ahead, celebrating, achieving things you once dreamed of, and you wonder if heaven forgot your name. But heaven is watching you closer than ever. Every season of silence is shaping how you will react when applause comes. Every unanswered prayer is teaching you restraint, patience, and discernment. God is not preparing the blessing. He is preparing you. And preparation feels like pressure. It feels like loneliness. It feels like being misunderstood, overlooked, underestimated. That's why this phase feels unbearable at times. But understand this clearly: if God released what is coming too early, it would crush you emotionally, distract you spiritually, or corrupt you internally. This delay is mercy disguised as pain. Don't skip, because this next truth separates the truly chosen from those who quit right before alignment happens. The most dangerous moment in any destiny is not failure, it is premature success. God knows exactly how much visibility you can handle, how much responsibility you can carry, how much temptation you can resist. That is why doors close even when you are qualified. That is why things fall apart even when you did everything right. God is refining your reactions. He is watching how you respond to silence, how you behave when nobody claps, how you treat people when you have nothing to gain. This is the maturity test. And very few pass it. Many ask for blessings, but not many are willing to grow into the person who can sustain them. That's why you feel stretched, delayed, uncomfortable. Heaven is expanding your capacity. When it finally arrives, and it will, you won't beg for validation, you won't chase approval, you won't lose yourself trying to keep what God gave you. Remember this moment. Remember this waiting. Because one day, you'll realize the delay didn't waste your time. It saved your destiny. Stay till the end, because what God is building in you right now is bigger than anything you thought you wanted. Listen closely now, because this is where most people misunderstand the delay and lose their confidence. The silence you are walking through is not empty, it is loaded. God often goes quiet right before He changes everything. This is the stage where your emotions are tested, where your faith is stretched, where your patience feels thinner than ever. And here's the shocking truth: the delay is not about time, it's about alignment. Heaven is aligning circumstances, people, and timing in ways you cannot see yet. If even one piece moves too early, the entire structure collapses. That's why nothing feels stable right now. That's why plans don't stick. That's why motivation rises one day and disappears the next. You are in the unseen construction phase. Foundations are being laid underground, where nobody applauds and nobody notices. Don't skip. Because what I'm about to say next is something only a few are meant to hear. The reason you feel pressure without progress is because growth is happening internally before it becomes visible externally. God always matures the inside first, so the outside doesn't destroy you later. Here's a revelation that changes everything: delay is a filter. God uses waiting seasons to remove the wrong people, wrong desires, and wrong versions of yourself. Some connections fade because they would not survive where you're going. Some dreams die because they were too small for what God actually planned. Some habits are breaking because they would sabotage your future silently. And yes, it hurts. It hurts because separation always hurts before elevation. But imagine receiving everything you asked for while still carrying emotional wounds, ego battles, and unresolved fear. You wouldn't enjoy it, you would fear losing it every day. God is not interested in giving you blessings you must constantly defend. He is shaping you to walk in peace, confidence, and authority when the time comes. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you on the other side of this understanding. And if this message is hitting something deep inside you, share it with someone who feels stuck right now, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, and stay connected, because this journey is not ending here. Now hear this carefully, because this is the moment many people wake up. When God delays you, it means He sees a future version of you that you cannot yet recognize. He is guarding that version from premature exposure. That's why you feel hidden. That's why your efforts seem unseen. But hidden seasons are dangerous only if you doubt yourself in them. This is where self-respect is built. This is where discipline is formed. This is where maturity replaces impulse. And once that shift happens, life starts responding differently. Doors open without force. Opportunities arrive without begging. Peace replaces anxiety. When it finally breaks through, and it will, you'll look back and realize the delay wasn't denial, it was development. Don't skip this process. Don't rush this season. Something huge is waiting for you, and it requires the version of you that is being built right now. Stay till the end. Because the ones who endure the wait are the ones who can handle the reward. There comes a moment when the waiting starts to speak back to you, when the silence begins teaching lessons louder than noise ever could. This is that moment. Right now, God is sharpening your perception. You are learning how to read people without words, how to sense truth without explanation, how to stand firm without reassurance. This is not accidental. Chosen ones are trained in stillness because their future requires clarity under pressure. If God answered everything immediately, you would never develop discernment. You would confuse excitement with purpose, speed with progress, attention with alignment. so he slows you down. He removes distractions. He allows boredom, frustration, and unanswered questions, not to weaken you, but to deepen you. This is where your inner voice becomes stronger than external noise. And once that happens, no manipulation, no comparison, no sudden opportunity can pull you off your path again. Stay till the end, because understanding this changes how you walk into your future. Here is something most people never realize: God delays what you want to reveal what you truly need. In the waiting, you meet yourself without applause, without validation, without shortcuts. You begin to notice patterns: what triggers you, what tempts you, what drains you, what strengthens you. This awareness is maturity. And maturity is rare. That is why what's coming to you is rare. God is building emotional stability in you so success doesn't make you arrogant, so criticism doesn't break you, so praise doesn't control you. This season is detox. Old mindsets are being removed. Old fears are being confronted. Old dependencies are being dissolved. It feels uncomfortable because growth always does. But imagine stepping into your calling without needing approval, without chasing attention, without fearing loss. That level of freedom is priceless. Don't skip, because the next realization separates surface-level faith from unshakable confidence. One day, sooner than you think, something will click. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Quietly. You'll notice you no longer panic the way you used to. You'll notice delays don't scare you anymore. You'll notice rejection doesn't feel personal. That's when you'll understand, you're ready. And readiness attracts release. God does not announce promotions, He responds to maturity. When the moment arrives, it won't feel rushed. It won't feel forced. It will feel natural, earned, aligned. And people will call it overnight success, not knowing how many nights you spent becoming strong enough to receive it. Remember this: delays don't mean you're behind. They mean you're being refined. Something huge is waiting for you. Not because you demanded it, but because you grew into the kind of person who can carry it without losing themselves. There is a quiet shift happening inside you right now, and most people will never notice it, but heaven does. You are no longer desperate the way you used to be. You still desire, you still dream, but you don't beg the universe anymore. That is maturity. That is the signal God waits for. Because desperation attracts the wrong doors, but stability attracts the right ones. This is why the delay stretched you emotionally, so you would stop chasing outcomes and start embodying readiness. You are becoming grounded. You are becoming selective. You are becoming calm in moments where you once would have panicked. And this is important, because what is coming to you will move fast once it begins. Too fast for an unstable version of you. God is not slow, He is precise. Every extra day you waited was calibrating your reactions, your judgment, your patience. Don't skip. Because this next truth explains why the breakthrough will feel quiet, not chaotic. Here's the surprising revelation: when the blessing finally arrives, it will not come with noise. No dramatic warning. No countdown. It will enter your life calmly, almost gently, as if it had always been meant to be there. And that's how you'll know you're ready. You won't need to announce it. You won't need to prove it. You'll simply step into it with confidence and peace. People will ask how you stayed so composed while they fell apart under less pressure. They won't see the waiting seasons. They won't see the inner battles. They won't see the discipline built in silence. That's why, if this message is opening your eyes right now, share it with someone who feels forgotten, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, and stay connected, because understanding the delay is the final preparation before release. Remember this as you move forward. God does not delay out of cruelty. He delays out of care. He knows the weight of what He is placing in your hands. And He knows exactly when your hands are strong enough to hold it without dropping it, abusing it, or being consumed by it. You are closer than you think. Not because things are moving, but because you have changed. That inner growth is the real evidence. When the door opens, and it will, you won't rush through it blindly. You'll walk in with clarity, restraint, and purpose. And in that moment, everything you once questioned will finally make sense. Something huge is waiting for you, not at the end of the road, but right after this season of maturity is complete. There is a final layer of truth that only reveals itself when you are strong enough to hear it, and if you're still listening, it means you've reached that level. The delay was not only preparing you for what you will receive, it was preparing you for who you will become after you receive it. Many people fall apart after their breakthrough. They lose discipline. They lose gratitude. They lose direction. But you were trained differently. God slowed your journey so success would not become your identity and loss would not become your fear. You learned how to stand steady when nothing moved, so now movement will not control you. This is why your mind feels calmer than before, even though answers are still unfolding. That calm is proof of maturity. Don't skip. Because this realization explains why your future will not be fragile. Understand this deeply: when God delays you, He is teaching you how to self-regulate, how to remain anchored when emotions rise, how to make decisions without panic. This is rare power. This is leadership energy. This is why what's coming will last, not fade. You are not being positioned for a moment, you are being positioned for endurance. The delay stripped you of shortcuts, forcing you to develop consistency. And consistency is what sustains greatness long after excitement dies. This is why comparison stopped working on you. This is why you no longer rush timelines that are not yours. Your spirit learned patience, and patience attracts precision. If this message has carried you this far, share it with someone who feels delayed but doesn't understand why, and subscribe so you don't miss the final piece, because what comes next completes the picture. Now listen carefully, because this is the closing truth. When it finally happens, you will not celebrate the outcome as much as you will respect the process. You will see that the delay shaped your character more than the reward ever could. And that is why you will not fall when others do. You will not lose yourself when life accelerates. You will lead with wisdom instead of impulse, with humility instead of hunger, with peace instead of pressure. The waiting season was not empty, it was sacred. And because you honored it, what comes next will be protected, sustained, and aligned. Something huge has been waiting for you all along, not just in the future, but inside the person you have already become. There is one last shift that happens right before release, and it's subtle, almost invisible. You stop asking when and start trusting who. That is the moment heaven responds. Because timing questions come from fear, but trust comes from maturity. Right now, even if you don't realize it, you are no longer negotiating with God, you are aligned with Him. You're not forcing outcomes. You're not chasing signs. You're walking forward quietly, doing what you can, resting when you must, and letting go of what you can't control. This inner surrender is not weakness. It is strength refined by waiting. Don't skip, because this next truth explains why the breakthrough will feel effortless compared to the struggle that shaped you. Here is what very few understand: the delay ends not when circumstances change, but when you are no longer dependent on them for peace. That's when doors unlock. That's when resistance dissolves. That's when opportunities recognize you. God waits until your identity is stable enough that blessings don't become your source of worth. And that moment is closer than you think. You may still be waiting externally, but internally you've crossed the line. You're no longer reactive. You're responsive. You're no longer impulsive. You're intentional. This is the version of you that can walk into abundance without losing focus, into visibility without losing humility, into responsibility without losing yourself. Stay till the end, because what's coming will not shock you, it will fit you. So remember this when life suddenly begins to move again, because it will. Remember the nights of doubt, the days of silence, the moments you almost quit. Remember how you stayed steady when nothing made sense. That is why you will not panic when momentum arrives. That is why you will not waste what you receive. The delay did not slow you down, it calibrated you. And now, when the next chapter opens, you won't rush it, you'll walk into it prepared, grounded, and unshakable. Something huge was never delayed out of neglect. It was delayed out of wisdom. And you became the kind of person worthy of carrying it. There is a quiet confidence growing inside you now, and it doesn't need proof or permission. It's the kind of confidence that comes only after endurance, after waiting without answers, after trusting without guarantees. This is not excitement. This is certainty. And certainty is dangerous in the best way, because once you have it, nothing can shake you. God allowed you to reach this point intentionally. He needed you to know that even if nothing changes tomorrow, you are still whole. That is the final seal of maturity. Don't skip, because this is where the chosen stop fearing outcomes and start mastering themselves. Here's something that will surprise you: the delay trained you to detach without disconnecting. You learned how to care without clinging, to hope without obsession, to work without anxiety. That balance is rare. Most people either burn out chasing results or give up when results take too long. You did neither. You stayed present. You adapted. You grew. And that growth created inner authority. This is why people will listen to you later, not because of what you have, but because of who you became while waiting. Influence flows naturally from integrity. Leadership emerges from lived discipline. If this message resonates with you, don't keep it to yourself, share it with someone who is still struggling to understand their delay, and stay connected so you don't miss what's ahead. Now understand this clearly as the chapter closes. When movement begins, you won't need motivation speeches or external validation. You'll move from alignment, not pressure. From wisdom, not impulse. The waiting season carved depth into you, depth most people never develop. And that depth will protect you when things accelerate. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are being fortified. Something huge was never running away from you, it was waiting for you to become strong enough to walk into it without losing your peace. There is a stillness that comes after long endurance, and if you feel it now, it means the storm has already done its work. This stillness is not emptiness, it is readiness. You are no longer fighting the current, you are floating with purpose. God brings His chosen ones to this calm place because panic cannot coexist with precision. What's ahead requires a steady hand and a clear mind. That's why the waiting slowed your heartbeat, softened your reactions, and strengthened your discernment. You are no longer easily triggered by delays or distracted by noise. That alone tells you the season is shifting. Don't skip, because the next realization explains why you will recognize the opportunity instantly when it appears. Here is the truth that seals everything: when alignment is complete, effort decreases and impact increases. You won't need to chase signs or force doors. The right path will feel obvious, almost familiar, as if you've walked it before in your spirit. That's because God showed you this road during the waiting, quietly, through discipline and repetition. The delay trained your instincts. So when the moment arrives, you won't hesitate or overthink, you'll act with calm certainty. And that calm will confuse people who are used to chaos-driven decisions. Stay till the end, because what's coming won't demand urgency. It will demand clarity, and you have been trained for that. As this message reaches its final breath, remember one thing above all else: the waiting season did not reduce you, it refined you. You did not lose time, you gained depth. And depth sustains what surface-level effort never can. When the next chapter opens, you won't announce it loudly. You'll simply live it fully. With gratitude. With restraint. With purpose. Something huge was never meant to overwhelm you, it was meant to rest on you. And now, because of who you've become, it finally can.